Sources are reporting that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are heading for divorce, and we're breaking down all the details. Hey guys, welcome back to another Shared News from Home. We have all the latest on Kim and Kanye, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future updates. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the incredible Gabby Ganta and Tyler Joseph Ellis. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, Fiona.
Hi.
Hello, hello. So I say we just dive right in because you guys, this is like truly huge news. Kim and Kanye are like the biggest couple. I think this is absolutely the biggest shock of 2021 so far. Yesterday, the news broke that Kim and Kanye were getting a divorce, and sources have since come forward to say they're in counseling and Kim has not filed yet. So nothing official has happened, but it isn't looking so good. A source told E! News, quote, "It's gotten to the point where they haven't spent time together as a married couple in months. They've seen each other for the sake of the kids, but have been living separately. Kim knows the marriage is over. She's known for a while." So, of course, this kind of begs the question, why hasn't she made the separation official? And this source said, quote, "She wants to make sure she's making the right decision for the kids." So you guys, like I said, really huge news. I just want to know your initial reactions. If you're surprised by this, what were you thinking when this broke, Gabby?
I was first really surprised because they're just such an iconic couple in Hollywood, and they seem to just every year be doing more, doing the most, coming out with great things and, pursuing their brand and just thriving, it seems. And we know, of course, that different things can be going on behind the scenes. But, I was surprised at first, but when I took a second to think, oh, this kind of makes sense because during this year it's been really tough. Kanye's had a few moments of, not being perfectly all there. And so I know that's probably a lot to handle for Kim, and she has her own things going on. So after thinking about it a little bit more, it seemed to make sense, although it is definitely sad news.
Gabby, you sort of hit it on the head there. I mean, it's always going to be shocking. I mean, any news, even if it's not official yet, any news of a couple that has been on the headlines for years and years and years, like even though we all knew what was going on, we've reported it before on Shared News, like just the difficulties that they're having as a family unit. Of course, Kanye, like you said, Gabby had a year in 2020, running for president being one of those things, and which we cannot forget happened. And so, of course, there's been a lot going on with the family. News of divorce is always going to be sad. It is never fun to report this sort of news. At the same time, if a divorce is what they think is best for that family unit, and again, thinking about those adorable children of theirs, then all I can do is is hope they both come out the other end of it, if it does go through relatively unscathed, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys both said it. They've clearly gone through a lot of challenges as a couple, as a family. And I think
Hmm.
there's always been a lot of love there at the end of the day. So for
Yes.
us, I mean, looking at it from the outside in, of course, been through challenges, they've been through a lot, but like we are, I think, all rooting for them. So this is very, very shocking. A source actually told People magazine that Kanye has known this was coming. So he was by no means surprised by, I think the news more privately than publicly. But this source explained he knows that she's done. She, of course, being Kim, she has had enough. She told him that she wants some space to figure out her future. And the source added that Kanye's racing for a filing, but doesn't really know when it's going to take place. As for how he's doing, the source said he's okay. He's sad, but okay. He knows the inevitable will happen, and he knows that it's coming soon. It's also being reported that Kim has hired top divorce attorney Laura Wasser, who has handled like the most high profile divorces. And Page Six is reporting that they are in settlement talks. And again, just that divorce is imminent. So I think, I mean, based on all of these different source statements and where different, outlets are saying they are in the divorce process, I feel like a lot has been going on behind the scenes that we're of course not aware of. I tend to think E and the Kardashians, they're like basically the same exact entity. So when they say that they are in counseling, I feel like that's a pretty good sign that they have been trying to work this out. They have been fighting it for this for some time. But even so, I think the thing that stands out to me the most is that they've not only been living separate lives, but they have been for some time now. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like separate lives is not sustainable in a marriage. You can't have one person in Wyoming and one person in Los Angeles forever. It's not always, going to be able to survive that. So I don't know. I just feel like it's been a really interesting journey to get to this point. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
Fiona, I think I mean, that comment about the separate lives is completely true. I mean, having such a high profile couple not being even in the same place during a pandemic is telling. And I think all I can hope for is that the divorce isn't a messy public display, which we've seen a few of those in recent months with different couples, and it's hard to watch, and it's also dangerously entertaining to read and to post about. And I think if I were ever going through a similar situation, I would definitely want some privacy, but unfortunately that's just not a luxury that the Kardashians have anymore. I mean, so I just hope that for the sake of their children that they can get through this, because ultimately they have a lot of history and they have children and they have complete empires on the line here. So yeah, I'm of course disappointed. And I do think there was love there, like what you were saying, Fiona. But I I would be lying if I was saying I wasn't expecting that.
Definitely. It's probably a long time coming, like you were saying. I think couples who are
Mhm.
having issues, they really try to make it work for so long, and sometimes it's just not there. This reminds me
Mhm.
of Chloe and Tristan and their
Yeah.
daughter. I know they had lots of issues too, but even through quarantine and through the ups and downs, it seems like they've been able to come together and spend time with each other for true and to just sort of build somewhat of a relationship, even though they're not on great terms, as a couple. So I think that Kim and Kanye are going to be able to do the same thing. I mean, even Kylie and Travis, they're not really together, but they have their daughter that is really pulling them together. So I
Mhm.
think this family is like no stranger to this sort of thing happening. Of course, it's sad when Kim and Kanye have built up this amazing marriage and like have built out their careers on top of that as well. So it's
Mhm.
going to be sad to not see them together. But as long as they can like create an environment in the home and for the kids that is, fruitful and still full of love and things like that, which I think they're not going to have a problem with.
No, I think you guys are both so correct. I mean, we did see back, I believe, in August, after a lot had gone down in the public eye, they hopped on a plane as a family and, spent some time with the kids. And I think that it's no secret that that was a very, very difficult time in a very difficult year. And they were able to put the kids first. So I do think that we will see Kim and Kanye continue to do that. I mean, we sort of touched on this a little bit, but obviously Kanye announced he was running for president this year, and that put their marriage
Mhm.
under a microscope immediately because Kanye was just displaying such erratic behavior at the time. I think it was just
Yeah.
natural for a lot of questions to start to be asked. And in July, Kim spoke out for the first time publicly about Kanye's mental health following one of his Twitter sprees that wasn't political. It was directly about Kim, directly about their family. And this is just a small snippet of the statement she made, but at the time she said, I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home, but I am very protective of our children and Kanye's right to privacy when it comes to his health. But today I feel like I should comment on it because of the stigma and misconceptions about mental health. And she called for compassion and privacy for their family, at the time. And, I think that obviously this has been, like we said earlier, quite a journey to get to where they are. But that message for compassion is just as important right now because, like we said, there
Mhm.
are kids, there is mental health in the picture. And, we don't know what's been going on behind closed doors, but Kim has not worn her wedding ring on Instagram for some time now. So their family has obviously been adjusting to this over the course of 2020. But I am really curious, what we think will happen next because Kanye has been in Wyoming for some time, sans Kim. And kind of without the kids. So what their co-parenting will begin to look like if divorce papers are filed, if all of these steps are
Mhm.
taken, will be really, really interesting. So, I mean, like we have said, they are reportedly in counseling. They're reportedly trying to make it work. There's a lot on the line here. I just kind of want to know final thoughts from you guys. It is, of course, not off the table that maybe they turn a page and come back together and are able to make it work. Um, but it's also a new year, and this has been, a difficult journey for them for some time. So maybe this is sort of the natural ending. What are your thoughts on the end of the Kim and Kanye era, potentially, Gabby?
That's a good point. They certainly could work things out in the next few weeks. Or maybe 2020 was so hard for them and they really want this year to be just fresh and new and get, a clean slate for the family and everything they're going through. That would certainly make sense. I think it's interesting that things haven't even been confirmed yet because it seems like big celebrities like this, they always try to get like big news like divorce or like some bad PR like out during a time when no one's going to be watching. Of course, that's kind of hard with Kim and Kanye because they're kind of one of the biggest couples out there. So I think people would notice anyways. But it's going to be interesting, like once she actually files, like what's going on in the world then? Like, are people going to be paying attention? Or, are we going to be doing another video like this to talk about everything that's going down between them? So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they can work it out. If not, we can only hope that the divorce is the right option for them.
I agree. I We could be back here for all we know. That's a good point, Gabby. It's like for all we know, we're going to be making another video being like, and ultimately, whether it be together, whether it be apart, I just wish both of them well. I think I'm thinking about both of them and the absolute ringer that they're being thrown through. Like I can't imagine going through all of this very, very, very difficult stuff, very difficult stuff with a family unit in mind, but also in the public eye during a pandemic, during one of the hardest times. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. I just keep thinking about the kids and and their involvement in all of this. And I think, yeah, I mean, like, what will co-parenting look like if they do end up separating? I don't know. Just my final thoughts are I wish them both well. And my gut, from what I know, which is embarrassing how much I do know, from what I know of the couple and their history, perhaps it'll be good. Perhaps it'll be better if they are apart. I mean, because the Kardashians are going to keep being in that limelight because they're the most famous people ever. And maybe without that pressure and the constant cameras around, Kanye, who's still uber famous and he'll deal with his own things, maybe that will up his privacy a little bit, like because he's tied to the most like filmed family ever. So I'm just thinking about what's best for, of course, but the couple and then the kids. And I just, if they work it out or not, I just hope they're happy, because it is a new year. And if we have another year of constant headline stories just bashing them or like bringing their really personal information to light, like that's not gonna, I mean, nothing's gonna get better. So those are my final thoughts. An amalgamation of weird things.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I mean, the more negativity that's out there, that certainly doesn't serve anyone. I think we all are rooting for them to be the happiest they can possibly be, whatever that looks like. Of course, you guys, we want to know your thoughts. Do you believe that divorce is imminent at this point? Are
Mhm.
you still rooting for them as a couple? Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the incredible Gabby Ganta and Tyler Joseph Ellis. All of our social handles are on the screen right now. Come say hi. We can talk all about Kim and Kanye. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.